What's up, curious youngsters? After years and years of watching hundreds of documentaries, television shows, and millions of images and videos on the internet, there are still things that always surprise us. Maybe it's because there are more than 7 billion of us, and with immediate access to the internet, we can literally come across anything at any time. Even if you think you've seen everything, there are always new things, and that's why Mr. Curiosity is here. For this and much more, these are 20 things you'll see for the first time in your life. If you're a cat lover, you probably already know about the famous island of Aoshima, or as it's commonly known, Cat Island. The cats were brought by fishermen years ago to deal with the local rodents. And on this island, there are about 13 people and around 130 cats in total. So, in case you're wondering what this number really means, this guy decided to record what would happen if he sat down in this place. And we can see how, after a short time, the cats completely surround him. Every day, scientific experiments become more and more incredible, or even completely strange, but really interesting. In fact, on YouTube, we can find thousands of them. And in this case, we can see what would happen if we expose different types of glass to a bit of lava for a few minutes. It's clear that car windows or regular glass break easily, but when trying it with fireproof glass, the result is surprising. And even though it manages to crack a little, the lava still stays on top of it. Be careful with the lava, my friend. I'm sure you have more than one appliance in your kitchen that makes your tasks easier. But in ancient times, there were many products and kitchen machines that today might even seem a bit strange or even useless compared to the ones we have now. A clear example is this bread slicing machine, which apparently has been rusting for quite some time. That's why they decided to restore it with a lot of effort and focus. The whole process is quite satisfying to watch, and in the end, we can see a completely different and improved result compared to the beginning. We've already seen on several occasions how different types of foods spoil after a short time, and even how does time affect these foods if we submerge them in different liquids, like water. However, in this case, they wanted to find out what would happen if we covered a hamburger and its fries in resin for about 60 days. And as a result, we can see that there weren't even any changes from the beginning. In the video, they say it still smells like a fresh hamburger, so they leave it in resin for 60 more days, but it remains unchanged. Humans have developed thousands of weapons over the years to harm one another. And nowadays, fortunately, there is such technology that allows us to understand the damage that can be caused in this case. We are watching the amazing slow motion behavior featuring a ballistic gel torso that accurately represents the human body. As we can see, it's incredible, not just how the projectiles come out in slow motion, but also how our entire insides suffer a tremendous impact while the projectile keeps moving through the body. Even if it's surprising, there are many animals that manage to have a much stronger bite than ours, like the lion, the wolf, or even the hyena. But in this case, we'll take a closer look at what it would mean to be bitten by a tiger, which we could easily place among the strongest bites in the animal kingdom. This man's wrist fits perfectly inside its mouth, and honestly, hearing those growls is pretty scary. Plus, the fact that he seems quite calm about it. Thanks for the video. Yakutia is a city in Serbia considered the coldest in the world, with temperatures reaching 70 degrees below zero. And you might be wondering, how do its people live? Well, by interviewing different people, this woman shows us what kind of clothes are normally worn at such temperatures, since she says the key is to dress properly. And it's no surprise to see the residents wearing big coats, pants, and boots on any day of the year. Why is it so cold in Serbia? Why? When a YouTube channel hits a certain subscriber count, they receive a button as a reward. And so there's the silver button, gold, diamond, and red diamond button, which only 2 channels have for reaching 100 million subscribers. According to YouTube, the diamond one is silver-plated metal with a large crystal center. Here they tried making their own using a real diamond, and the process turns out to be quite interesting to watch, since it's explained that with one wrong move they could have lost a lot of money, since it's such a delicate process. But we can't deny that the result was excellent. Without a doubt, every day we are surprised by different art videos, from very simple drawings to the most incredible sculptures. And what if we talk about talented artists? Definitely. This man should be on the list, since he decided to create a sculpture of a lion made with nothing more and nothing less than simply chocolate. Though it appears fragile and quick, it actually took him over 5 days to finish. Clearly, the result is incredible, besides the great talent he has in handling chocolate that way. When it comes to Guinness records, we can't deny that while there are many truly amazing ones, others are a bit extreme, like some we've already seen on the channel. For example, Daniel Scully set the world record for the longest plank, holding the position for about 9.5 hours and 1 second. He says his legs started hurting after 14 minutes, but that didn't stop him from breaking the previous record. An American man who in 2020 managed to hold a plank for 8 hours, 15 minutes, and 15 seconds. Well done, Daniel. If you're a fan of sweets and candy in general, you're probably going to get hungry watching this video. That's because it's about a store specialized in making this famous Korean dessert called Castella. At the place, they use a lot of ingredients like eggs, milk, and oil to fill a tray that they'll take out shortly after. It's interesting how they measure their portions. And as if that wasn't enough, it doesn't end here, because they join 2 portions of this dessert with a thick layer of cream. And honestly, just by looking at it, doesn't it make your mouth water? Are you sure? Have you ever thought that your room or your house in general needed a cleaning? But it's very likely that you've never gone to this extreme. This girl calls herself the Queen of Cleaning. There's little to debate, as she always restores these houses to like new condition. In this video, she takes care of cleaning every corner of the house of a girl who, due to health issues, had completely neglected the trash that was left there. So the result was pretty unpleasant. The way this girl and her boyfriend professionally clean the house room by room is truly satisfying to watch. What comes to your mind when we talk about extreme sports? Maybe you would think of skydiving or mountain climbing. But these men have a different vision. They gather to see who can slap their opponent the hardest. In various tournaments, we're now watching a participant named Vasily. It's not surprising that face and head injuries happen at these events, but are they at least prepared with medical staff for such cases? And even though it might seem painful, it's actually pretty addictive to watch. On YouTube, we can find people with incredible talents, but I'm sure you've never seen anything like this because years ago, this guy called himself a human printer. That's because his way of drawing resembles one, and it makes him absolutely amazing. This time, he made it harder by attaching 2 pins with a straight piece of wood, allowing him to draw Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi simultaneously. And obviously, this not only requires great talent and practice, but also a lot of coordination, so we can't help but admire him. It's no surprise that birds eat a lot of seeds, which is why many people put some in their gardens to feed them from time to time. That's the case with Matt Robert, who used to put a good amount of seeds in his garden, but the squirrels around there ended up eating them all the time, no matter how he placed them. So he decided to create a maze for a few rodents, so they would have to overcome some obstacles. And the funniest thing is that either way, they managed to outsmart the system. If we're talking about pencils, it's likely you'll find this toy satisfying or even strange. This Russian YouTuber wanted to try out a challenge where he gathers hundreds of pencils to create a toy for kids, and we can't deny that it looks simply amazing. Although the process doesn't seem complicated, the result and the making are both quite appealing. Household chores can be exhausting, and washing the dishes is a great example of that, unless you have a dishwasher that does it for you. And in that case, if you have one of these, you should be interested in this video, since here they wanted to show what happens inside a dishwasher when it's running with a couple of plates inside. It's really curious that from the water loading to the rinsing, it's interesting to see the whole process. That's really interesting, my friend. It's clear that sometimes we can get distracted with our belongings, which makes them a target for thieves since they're easy to steal. That's why this tourist decided to check how long it would take certain people to snatch the phone from his hands, which he constantly keeps outside the window of his car. Something worth noting is the ease and speed with which they try to take it, and one of them took just 0.2 seconds to react the same way. Fortunately, the man had a strong grip on his phone, so no one was able to steal it. If you like cars or just love art, then you'll love this sculpture. This artist decided to make one entirely out of modeling clay. To be exact, it's a Dodge Charger 132, known for being Toretto's car in Fast and Furious. The process shows us the incredible talent and dedication of the artist, where we can see how he works on each piece. After 132 hours, the result is a small car that doesn't even look like it's made of clay, but rather one made of metal. If we talk about superheroes, it's likely that Marvel is the first thing that comes to your mind, since who doesn't know more than one of its characters? In this case, the artist and sculptor Steven Richards. He decided to recreate the poster of the Avengers Endgame movie, but in a different way. He modeled each character from the cover, simply in clay. From Rocket Raccoon to the imposing presence of Thanos, the detail he puts into each one of them is simply on another level, and the result is just too perfect. Subscribe.